Welcome back, Flirty. More Flirt Yoga. This practice all for balance, all for grounding, all for reuniting that connection you have with yourself when you're perhaps feeling disconnected. He didn't text you back. What's going on? You're in your head, you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing. I got you. As I've been chasing my sunlight around this apartment, I need this practice myself. All right, what we're going to do is spend the entirety of the practice in an easy seated pose in Sukhasana here. You can do that, of course, on your yoga mat. I'm going to be offering it today against a wall. So if you have your mat or even putting a blanket underneath you just to give yourself a little bit of support, a little bit of padding is going to be great. Just simply crossing both legs. You probably have a dominant leg in front. That's okay. You got to do you and what is most comfortable. If you find your knees are up like this, grab some of your props, some pillows, some blankets. Give yourself that support. Also may want, if you're taking this against a wall, maybe a little bit of support, a pillow perhaps for the back of your head. The curvature of your neck here may feel good. And you may also take this in a chair. If you prefer to be sitting in a chair, just make sure your feet are nice and level. You've got a nice 90-degree bend in both knees. If you need to give yourself some support for those feet to bring the feet up a little bit, book, something like that will be fantastic. All right, so find which position you would like to take for this practice. And let's start to arrive. Go ahead and settle in, moving the booty flesh out of the way. A little bit of a shake so you can make that nice point of contact with the earth. Palms can fall open on the lap rather, or palms facing down. Spine is nice and straight, rolling those shoulders back and pulling it forward a couple times each direction until it feels good. Bringing the neck into alignment with the spine. So usually I find when we're driving, we're texting, right? We're working on the computer. We tend to crane forward, watching TV, all the things. Bring that spine back into alignment, head nice and straight, gaze is neutral in front of you. And now watch me for just a moment as I describe what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some alternate nostril breathing. So you're going to bring these two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, making sort of a peace sign like that, placing it on the midpoint of the brow, making some contact with that third eye. And then we're going to be using the ring finger here and the thumb as we then alternate breathing in and out of each nostril. So bring up your right hand, get those two fingers, gently close the eyes. Your left hand can find a place that is most comfortable on the lap or perhaps even beside you. Give yourself a little bit of massage with those two fingers on the third eye, maybe a couple taps. And then allow your thumb to make contact with your nostril, leaving the right nostril, leaving the left nostril open. And inhale deeply through that left nostril. Hold the breath, Flirty. Close that left nostril and exhale through the right. Holding empty lungs here for a few seconds as we're inhaling, exhaling through the nose. Inhale deeply through the right. Switch your fingers as you hold the breath for a moment. Now exhaling through the left. Holding the breath empty here. Inhaling now through the left. Close that left nostril, open the right, and exhale. Holding empty lungs here for a moment. Inhale through the right. Hold the breath as you open that left nostril, and now exhale. Holding empty lungs. I'll continue to guide you through this practice, inhaling through the left. Hold the breath. Exhale through the right. Hold the breath empty. Inhale through the right. Alternate your fingers as you now exhale through the left. Hold the breath. Inhale through the left. Open the right nostril, closing the left. And exhale through the right. Holding the breath empty for a few moments. Now inhaling through the right. Hold the breath full here. Exhale through the left. And now holding the breath empty. Inhale through the left. Hold the breath. And now take your exhale. Continue breathing at your own pace here. I will be holding this space, spending a little bit of time with your alternate nostril breathing. Focusing on your breath. If there are any distractions, internal, external, allow your breath here to be your guide back to the present moment. And take one more full breath cycle here through both nostrils, or if you're halfway through, go ahead and complete this final one. Allow that right hand to drop down only when you are ready, gently blinking open the eyes. Hello. Hello. You join only when you are ready, as we now move through a little bit of an asana practice, a little bit of movement. I invite you now to support yourself, placing both palms beside you, gently uncrossing the legs and recrossing them. It's going to feel probably a little bit funky because you've had your dominant leg in front. You tend to favor one over the other. But switching that cross, since we are focusing on balance here after all. All right, now with this camera angle, my arms are going to disappear in a moment, but I promise they're still there. I promise they are still there. And as we move through this next part of the practice, whether you're seated on the ground perhaps or in a chair, all good. I just ask that if you were up against the wall, go ahead, shift yourself out away from that wall just a little bit, giving yourself a little bit of space. As now we move through a bit of an asana practice, want to give you just a little bit of movement as well. And this is how it's going to go. Inhale as you extend the arms overhead, and exhale. This time we're finding just a seated forward fold. Those fingertips work their way out in front of you. You can leave them tinted up on the fingertips here for support, keeping that spine nice and straight, perhaps walking them back towards you a little bit. If you need to uncross your legs at any point, please do that. I know this can be a very uncomfortable position, cross-legged position, but it takes some time to get there and have it feel comfortable as well. All right, and then in here, on your exhale, walk those fingertips out a little bit more. Allow the chin to drop towards the chest, the back to round. gentle, restorative-like seated forward fold. Just getting a little bit crunchy here in this forward fold, allowing gravity to really do its job, do a lot of the work for you. With each exhale, can you sink a little bit deeper? Got a few more breaths. With permission, you may imagine me gently pressing down onto the shoulders, just slightly, only little bit of pressure, just to allow you to arrive a little bit deeper in this seated forward fold. Now tent up on the fingertips and gently walk them back closer towards you. If you were in a chair, I hope you just fell right forward, but didn't fall off. I don't want that for you. Arriving back here, just a little bit more movement here. Once you come back upright, palms meeting, tops of the thighs here, right around the knees. Inhaling to come forward. Exhaling to complete your revolution. Your inhales take you halfway through, and your exhales allow you to complete the cycle. Just a little bit of hip work here, a little bit of movement through the hips. Next time you arrive back at center, reversing the direction of those hip circles. Don't forget your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. You can really make this pretty loose here, working through the shoulders. A little bit of neck movement if that feels good to you. And together we arrive back at center. Hello. Here we are. This is where I will leave you for this particular practice. What I invite you to do now is, if you are on a chair, moving off that chair. If you've been up against the wall, moving fully away from the wall, finding any place to lay down, quite honestly. If you have your mat nearby, if you've got a couch, a bed, a piece of carpet, wherever, someplace soft, laying down fully on your back, settling in, finding some groundedness there, and just offering yourself a few moments of meditation, of integration for this practice, to allow the energy we've created here today to settle a bit. I invite you to take a little bit of meditation and then have a big old glass of water. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the meditation, and I'll see you in the next video.